Happy Friday, everybody. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're already in the I think this is the last, it has to be the last leadership lunch chat of
Of the
2020.
year.
Yeah, 2024. And I was thinking, Amy, as we were starting this, and I'm Jen Wilson, by the way, and this is my good friend, Amy Better.
She's
I
just
was,
ready to get going.
yeah, that's right, jumping right in. I was just thinking that 2021, 22, 23, 24. This is the end of or almost a full 5 years you and I have been streaming leadership.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep, and it's true though. And we started Leadership Lunch Chat really just to process ideas and issues and feelings and thoughts we were having about leadership in our profession and in our lives. And that's what this is about. Last session, we talked about kind of the year in review, 2024. This session, we're going to talk about maybe things we're grateful for related to 2024 and life in general. And then next session, which I don't really know when it is, but let's just say the 10th, something like that. Um, we're going to talk about predictions for 2025. So, Amy, I'm going to wonder if you want to start with some gratitude for 2024 or life in general.
Sure. Well, number one, another great year with my kids. So not the business side, but just the personal side. My older son graduated college with his environmental engineering degree, and then also as an MBA. And then also my younger son, I think it was in this year, decided to be an accountant from going to school to be an architect. So he changed his mind his freshman year. And that has been an awesome experience, just guiding him along, seeing his perspectives on things, and just him actually realizing the things I do in my career, even though he's seen it all the time. But that's been a lot of fun to be able to share it with them. So I'm absolutely so grateful for these boys in my life and how they've shaped my life through the years.
That's awesome. And I think I should give you credit then for one of your two elements of the pipeline pledge. Hashtag pipeline pledge. We asked everybody in the National Pipeline Advisory Group strategic report to please commit, take the pipeline pledge, and promise to do two things to grow the pipeline. And Amy Vetter somehow, through her very presence in her son's life, switched him to an accounting major. Yay! That's huge.
Yay!
I love
Yes.
it. Super grateful for both of those things, and it's wonderful to see those boys in your life. I'm going to start personally too. I am grateful that my father, who had a really significant heart event on Sunday, um, survived a miraculous surgery and um, lived at 94 and a half. He's been given some more time on the clock for sure. And I got to take him home yesterday, and we'll nurse him back to full health, and maybe he'll even be better because they removed a really serious blockage that he had. So hopefully he'll go from where he was before it to even healthier and even more oxygen and more energy and all those things. So I still have my dad this Christmas, and that's awesome. And I'm super grateful to all. I just I got to experience all kinds of generous leaders in that process, and it was so fun to see them and watch them in action and see them move mountains. And so, anyway, that's something I'm super grateful for right now.
Yeah. So I've gone through something really hard this year was the passing of my mom in the fall, and it was a difficult relationship that I had with her, and um, don't talk about it much, but it was definitely um, not the experience you would hope for. But I would say there's been some amazing things that have happened from the experience as well. One is the support my brother and I have given each other, and come through for each other in ways, you haven't in a long time. And I'm also very thankful because my niece came back in our lives through this process as well. And the other thing that was just so amazing was, through the experience, I don't even know what happened with her funeral, but I had posted on social about it. And it was like having a virtual funeral. I am so grateful to all the people that reached out, um, and, shared things with me. Also, called me and shared their experiences as well. And it was just one of those things that I've learned a lot from, and I've also, been on my own journey through it as well. And so through some things that are really hard and traumatic, um, there's a lot of good lessons as well. And I am so thankful for this community, that this career, this profession that I've been in, of all the support I received during this time as well.
That's awesome. So I'll go there too. Just having this experience and really just being super committed that my dad has as powerful a life as he could have, um, means that I've had to rearrange my life so that I don't maybe spend as much time at home. And I already travel, so that's a little
Mhm.
twist. And I've had such great support from my husband and my daughters, and really my whole team at work, um, to fill gaps and provide support and make me feel good about what I'm doing and not guilty for it. And just how great it is to have people that care about you, and find out that you have maybe more people than you thought. I know you had that experience with your mother, and it's just awesome. That support system is invaluable. It'd be nice if we could be present to it as much when things are good. you know,
Mhm.
I think there's a take it for granted element to that when things are
Mhm.
good, but yeah, the rallying around me, not just here in this incident in December, but all year to facilitate and support me supporting him has been,
Mhm.
I'm grateful for it. I also
That's
want to say
awesome.
one more thing about a gratitude thing related to family and my dad, and that is that we got to go to the Sequoia National Forest and stand at the foot of General Sherman, the oldest living organism, 2,200 years old, 272-foot tall, about 10,500 feet in elevation in the Sierra Nevadas. I live in Nebraska. It was a planes, trains, and automobiles thing to do it, to get up there and then, have dad jump in a wheelchair, which he doesn't love to do, but because we had to sort of hike it up to General Sherman, he was willing to get in the wheelchair, and for he and I to go stand at the feet of that tree, and I told him we're going to feel really young, Dad, because it's 2,200 years old and really small and insignificant,
Mhm.
and because of that, it was, living life large kind of a deal, unreasonable things to do. But in this last week, when he was really in trouble, there were questions about it. Like there's a whole question in the medical community about like how much is too much to help somebody that old.
Mhm.
And I was able to tell all these people that I was meeting that were trying to assess and decide, are we going to take these risks with this guy? And are we going to do this? And for them, they take the loss in their column if he doesn't make it, so it's almost easier not to try. And so I would tell them about, like, look, 60 days ago, this guy was, 11,000 feet standing at the foot of General Sherman in the Sequoia National Park. I mean, he's living life large. It's full, and he needs to continue it. And that story and the pictures and stuff, people were like, "Oh, this is so great. Let's do it." And it was so, I mean, it was like, it was major and so awesome. So I give super thanks for that experience in October, and getting to do it, getting to, with my husband and my daughter and my dad. It's awesome. And it helped us in ways that we had no idea later.
Thank goodness he got in that wheelchair.
I know he was, he didn't like that idea, but I was like, look, we're at altitude, man.
Yeah.
He did it. It was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am definitely grateful that we are still in person for events. I think the travel can be definitely hard on everyone. But that in person, uh, being able to share with people and have time that's not work time, um, outside of whatever you're doing is so important. So I still look back when you say we started this when we did, 5 years ago. That's crazy. What, a hard time that was where you were trying to find connection. And I still never want to forget that, so that, even when you're tired on the road and so forth, that you're still appreciative of the fact that we are able to have in-person events.
Well, and yeah, and that you get to all the things that an in-person event gets you, right? So it's the friendships and the hallway conversations and the dinners and the outside stuff. It's the phenomenal experience of group education and group collaboration and planning and strategy and all that stuff. That's so special. It's also going to cool places and doing cool things. And that's one of my, like, I agree with you. It's so easy to focus on like wear and tear of travel or something.
Hmm.
And like, to think about the airport and, like some of that stuff that's not that awesome sometimes. And
Yeah.
but then you, like, I got to snowshoot when we were at Digital CPA, when
Oh, fun.
I went up to Echo Lake and snowshoed with my daughter and her husband, and it was awesome. So there's all these cool things you get to do and people you get to hang with that you don't get when you're remote or hybrid. And I'm still yet very grateful for remote and hybrid, uh,
Hmm.
and how many people we can reach, and all the different things you can do because of the technologies that support that. So I love both, you know, but I agree, never take in person for granted again.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I think for what both of us do, and continue to do each year and change and pivot, um, I'm so thankful for my team that I have at the B3 Method Institute. Um, I did my own planning for my business last week. That was, pretty pounding as far as hours and time and effort, and just to have my team operate everything the way that they did and keep everything going was just huge. So, there's the things that we do outwardly could not be done without the people that support us. So I'm extremely grateful for my team.
Yes, me too. And my team is, you know, I'm grateful for all their creativity and all their thinking and planning and communicating, the ownership that they display over all the things that they have going on. I love the innovation and the evolution that they bring to the business. It's so great. But mostly I love laughing with them. And I mean that, like, it's super rare, um, for me in any check-in or meeting not to have a good laugh with whoever it is that I'm working with. And it's regardless of the circumstances, even in the most painful circumstances. In fact, maybe sometimes the pain and suffering is what makes it fun.
It's what creates it.
Humor, try to break it with a little laugh. But I'm serious. I have a funny team, somewhat sometimes sarcastic and occasionally cynical, but wisecracking. And I'm so grateful for them. Hardworking and committed and loving and all those things. Super blessing and kind of magical mix of people. So
Yeah.
me too. Yeah.
Now, I would say for the profession overall, I'm grateful to see the shift in this year. So a lot of it led by the report that your group did, and but I think there's just so much more discussion and openness to things changing. We still have a lot of work to do, but I don't think we're as blocked on one answer anymore that we were last year, from all the research that was brought forward and all the work that was done, and really people trying to figure out how to make this better. Um, so, with what we do for the years and years we've been doing it, a lot of times when we're out there talking about something, it's the first time someone's heard it, but it might be the 10th year we've talked about it. And sometimes from the, consultant perspective, we feel like things aren't shifting. And I do feel a shift. I feel a movement happening. It may not be everybody, but I definitely feel in a bigger percentage of this profession, we're moving toward positive outcomes.
Oh, me too. I I mean so part of what I feel is that we're shifting, um I hope, and it isn't wholesale yet, but shifting to a new generation of
Hmm.
leaders and owners, um, and to that generation that has, been talking about technology and work-life integration and, finding joy in your work and pricing things right and serving the right clients. That those people are stepping up into leadership in our profession in major ways all over the place, and we see it like crazy at Convergence. It gives us great hope. I'm grateful to Barry Melanson for 30 wonderful years of innovative, anticipatory leadership, and truly caring about every person he met and really listening to them. Some may not agree with every decision he made. I will tell you that I think he was a really wonderful um, example of strategic and forward-thinking leadership. So I'm grateful to him. I'm also super grateful to my friend Mark Koziel for stepping into what will be, the role of a lifetime. And it's going to be challenging and it's going to be awesome. But man, what a blessing we all have that he's taking that role, and going to lead us and this profession forward. And he's a next gen guy, a next gen thinker, and I'm excited about that, at the helm there. But we see that sort of shifting everywhere, and
Hmm.
that gives me great hope. I'm worried about some things. That's not what this leadership went about. Not to worry.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
But so it's not all positive that we're facing. We're facing some real challenges, but I have some real confidence in the leaders that are ascending and stepping up into various roles, that they're going to be able to, use their wisdom and their voices to drive change in the right direction. So I'm excited about that, because I mean, you look at the state society execs and the CPA associations, the private associations, and you look at firms and service line leaders and all these next gen leaders stepping up. So super cool. And we've been talking about it coming. It's here, and that's cool. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Well, this has been awesome. It's a good, and I would suggest it to anyone, because when you have to look for the good, it makes you feel differently throughout your day, or shifts your energy. And, might be something you do with your team, your family, whatever that is. But, you know, try to find the good in what's happened this year, and find the energy to go into the next year of 2025. So I am always grateful for you, Jen, and doing this with you throughout the years. So I'm very excited to launch again in 2025.
Me too, Amy. Ditto. So, and we're grateful to you all for tuning in and participating with us and sharing ideas and input when we see you in person or in social or sidebars in other ways. We always learn from you and appreciate your ideas for topics as we go into 25. We hope every one of you has a wonderful holiday season and a bright, hopeful, healthy, full of possibilities new year in 2025. Thanks all.